For the first time in my life, I have 1000 hertz in a controller. Wait, I see an enemy. What's this? I don't have the skills to use all them 1000 hertz? Then it hits me. What if the 1000 hertz made me a better player? Bam! Gamesir G7 controllers. The first ever to give you 1000 hertz on Xbox. Disclaimer, this video was made for entertainment purposes only. Having 1000 hertz will not guarantee you to be a better player. Also, thanks a lot for all the support. You guys are amazing. Hey everyone, it's the Photo Techie. I hope you are all doing really well. Today's an exciting one. Gamesir have fulfilled their promise and we finally got the 1000 hertz update. Not just on PC, it's actually working on Xbox as well. That's where I've been testing it. But today I just want to show you what's going on the PC and just quickly show some test results. So the update came for the Nexus app, and once you are in the Nexus app, it will give you an option to update the controller as well. The G7se 6.28 and the normal G7, which also got the 1000 hertz option, there's I think 3 point something. But once you've done the update, if you go into the profile tabs, you will see this new option, report rate. And you can basically toggle that between 250, 500, 1000. Now, when you go to 500, 1000, it does disable the headphone jack. So you won't be able to get sound or any sort of communication through there. So you will need another audio solution. I myself use the Astro Mix amp anyway, but yeah, if you rely on the headphone jack, this might be a bit of a problem for you guys. But yeah, that's the only thing that's changed. If I go into the configuration, everything else is still the same. So all the options are still how they used to be. You know, the raw mode and everything, like you can do it. One really good option that I think what they've done here is you can actually do this for particular profiles. So you can have a profile with 500 hertz, one with 1000, one with 250, and you can change it on the fly. I think this is an amazing option what they've implemented. And so, you know, if you are not playing competitively and you still want to use the headphone port, you can just do it on the controller. But I'm going to show you guys some results on X input test. And so just to show you, you know, how it's working. So right now I'm in the 1000 hertz profile. And if I do the X input test, it will give me, it's showing us 550 hertz because we do have some outliers. If we go through the list, we do get some inputs that are like 8 milliseconds, 7 milliseconds and stuff. But most of them are under 1 millisecond. But if I go into the 500 hertz profile, which I've already saved on the controller, and I do that test, is going to look very consistent. And it might even give you like a higher polling rate number, 573, less jitter. And no outliers, everything is like 1.7, 1.9. But to me personally, I think the 1000 hertz works way better than the 500 on Xbox, because I was testing it for, let's talk about aiming. For aiming, it felt like the little minor movements you do, you feel like they are very connected. You might even feel like it's a bit of less aim assist, but you have more control. And I was really surprised. It's a very subtle change, but it's one that you notice, especially when you go with a controller that doesn't have, or even on the G7se, just go with the 250 hertz. You realize those little minor movements you were doing. You sort of like register them. You start feeling like you're connected to the controller. And it wasn't even just the aiming that was a different thing for me. The triggers, my days, like I have never played with a controller that doesn't have trigger stops, using a single fire weapon, and had so much fun. Now I've made a video before, I've talked about my trigger settings the way, so I have hair triggers on, 5 minimum, 90 maximum, and I use the hair trigger options. And it's like this update, not just the aiming, it's the whole controller. You're feeling so connected, not even just the triggers, I'm talking about the back buttons. It's like when you are using them, you know, you're crouching and getting up to shoot and things like that. You felt so connected, like it's happening exactly when you intend it to happen. And it's a really good experience, honestly. Like I've never ever played with a controller that was 1000, because I've always played on consoles, and they were like 125 hertz, the standard ones, and maximum was 250. So this is my first experience. And yeah, it is one of those things that once you try it, you feel like, okay, yeah, you don't want to go back to the other one. It's not night and day, you can still use it, it's just like you miss it. And like I said, 1000 definitely felt better to me than 500. 500 didn't feel that much of a difference, honestly. Now, I was thinking about this. I wanted to test it somehow. What's the difference? How can I do this? Like, so I'm just telling you my personal experience. The only way I can sort of show it, and it still is strange. It's not even that much. But here, let's say I go into the 1000 hertz profile, and I'll just quickly press the back button. And I'm getting numbers between 62, 63, 78. I just, spamming the buttons. And if I go into a 250 hertz profile, I'm just going to confirm that I am in the 250 hertz there. And I'm just going to spam the back button again. And sometimes I will get some higher numbers. So it's not like all the time, like I'm having 78, I'm getting 47s as well, on and off, and it's like how you are spamming it. But there is something, like you can actually feel it when you have the higher response, like I have like 93 there, so up there. So it's like buttons one thing, triggers is another one that I have actually noticed. So we'll do the triggers one. This is the 250 hertz profile, and this is how I use the trigger stops. I don't have trigger stops or hair triggers. I can't just use a little bit. I just use, go all the way down and I do it. And I've noticed that if I go into the 1000 hertz profile, I do find them to be a bit more closer together, the lines that are coming out. So if I do that, I can see a big difference, and I'm using it exactly how I usually, press them. And I realize that, there is a bit of a difference. Everything else is the same. The shape the sticks are making in raw mode and in the normal circular mode is the same. One thing I will say, so I've been using the normal circular mode now for since this update's come out. I don't think we need the raw mode anymore. I think the raw mode was kind of like a compensation for us because whatever the response was feeling a little bit slower. Now though, I much prefer the normal circular profile, and I would highly recommend, if you've been playing with the raw mode, try the circular one again. You will have to, I did have to change my sensitivities. I don't need the high sensitivity anymore in Call of Duty, so I brought them down. I'm playing at like 9.9. I was playing at 13 before. So that's definitely if you feel this is 100% an upgrade, it feels like, yes, it's a subtle upgrade, but it's noticeable. Once you start, getting used to it, you're like, okay, yeah, this is a really good experience. Now, one thing I have noticed, I don't know if this, I've always said to you guys in Gamesir Nexus app, do not use minimum dead zones, just make them 0. So I don't know if this update is doing something or this was always the case, but I did not like the feel of minimum dead zones in Nexus app. So just going to show you, for the testing purposes, I had the dead zone set to 7. The reason I did that is X input registers, if you do it, then you don't get the right number. So that's why I put them there. Now they are at 7%, right? And if I move the stick slowly and let go, sometimes it will just get stuck out. Look, I have 7% dead zones, and it's showing me I have a 3%, nearly 4% drift still, but I have 7%. I actually don't have that drift. It's something is going on with the software. Now this is happening on Gamepad Tester as well. So I will I have some dead zones here. So this shouldn't be showing, it should always be coming back. Look what's happened there. It's showing me I have 15% register, okay, on my right stick. So the sticks are flipped, sorry. But look at that, this shouldn't be there. The stick is centered. It just shouldn't be there. But now if I disable the dead zones, and this problem just goes away. So I will make them completely 0, and we'll just make sure we're there. Now, if I come back and I test it, I will do that minor, the smaller movements. I have drift because, the stick has slop, but it will never get stuck out on those high values that it was doing. So I don't know if this is the update that's done the bug, but if you follow my channel, if you've seen my videos, I've always recommended you guys to make sure the dead zones are 0 in the Nexus app and use your in-game dead zones. So this, to be honest, doesn't affect me. But if for some reason you've done an update and you're realizing, because you're using dead zones in the Nexus app and you're realizing, oh, something is not right, this potentially could be an issue. But like I said, just use 0 in the Nexus software so you have those actual, drift numbers. It's not getting stuck out. Because I said this before, I felt like there was something off. But in terms of circularity, nothing has changed. Everything is the same. And we're getting, the circular profiles will make a circle. And if you go into a profile that has the raw mode, then it will, give us the mimicking the raw output as if we don't have an outer circular dead zone and what the stick should be doing. My personal take here is I would highly recommend you guys go to the, so in Nexus, make sure we are in 0 minimum, 100 maximum, disable the raw mode. This is what I'm recommending now. Disable the raw mode, play with the 1000 hertz, okay, not the 500 one, play with the 1000 hertz. And the response the controller has, disabling, you see, I'm reaching the 100% little bit before the actual thumbstick gate. So this happened in the 6.25 update, but I still preferred the raw mode. Now try the circular one, and the controllers are definitely feeling really, really good. I did play around with the normal G7 as well, and this has got the update as well. Unfortunately, I think something's happened with one of my back buttons. I'm actually doing a test right now. I'm putting some controllers in like the dustiest environment I have, and my G7 is one of those. So I have the ROG Raikiri, the G7, Snakebite Gamepad Pro. I put them like the dustiest place I can find. I just want to see what happens with the dust. So I think something happened to my G7. The back button, sometimes feels like it's not registering. But yeah, short video today, guys. Definitely check this out. Check out the Discord as well if you're having issues. If you want to ask me something for, if any issues or whatever you're having, you want me to test something, leave me a comment. Thank you so much to everybody who's, subscribed and commented. You guys are absolutely amazing, and you have taught me and others a lot. Please keep sharing your knowledge, and thanks a lot for watching this video. Hopefully, I'll catch you in one of my next ones. Bye for now.